truly. The tales and songs fall utterly short of your enormity, O Smaug, the stupendous.
Well, December 13th brings us part 2 of the Hobbit trilogy, with this chapter bearing the subtitle The Desolation of Smaug. Director Peter Jackson once again oversees a film set in Middle-earth, as he did with all the previous Lord of the Rings movies. In this next chapter, Bilbo Baggins, played by Martin Freeman, continues with his party of dwarves on a mission to defeat an imperious dragon, voiced by BBC Sherlock's Benedict Cumberbatch. Fox, given how underwhelming The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey was, do you think The Desolation of Smaug will correct those mistakes or repeat them?
I think mostly repeat, Lauren. And I'll tell you the big number that I'm looking at is the runtime. The Unexpected Journey was 3 hours long. This one is also 3 hours long. And I think that was the biggest complaint, that, Peter Jackson really needed a pair of pruning shears to this thing and really edit it down. He didn't do that. So I'm a little bit weary about that. I think that, I'm looking at some numbers here. The original Lord of the Rings trilogy, in terms of critics, all came in between 92 and 96% positive. Hobbit, only 65% positive. I think we're going a little bit higher on this. I think he'll learn some, he'll correct some things. I think the addition of Benedict Cumberbatch in particular and Stephen Fry will resonate better with critics. So I'm going to go a little bit higher and say 75% positive. I do think it's going to have a high opening. The Hobbit had 84 million. I'm going pretty much the same range, 80 million for this as well.
And Chris?
Yeah, I'm maybe only slightly less optimistic than this. I think that these movies were filmed basically concurrently. You can do a little bit of editing after the fact to sort of adjust the tone or the pace or what have you, but it's not like it's going to be radically different from the first one. So I think the criticisms will remain largely the same. I'm saying 70% positive, and I'm actually going to go a little bit better than the first one. Maybe that's not accurate, but I'm saying $90 million.
All right, Jill, what do you think?
I'm not super stoked about this movie. I enjoyed the first Hobbit. It wasn't bad, but it didn't make me really want to go sit down in the theater for 3 more hours. This looks like it might be slightly better than the last one. So I did exactly what you all did and went up a little bit. I went to 70%. But I think less people are going to want to go see it because
They're turned off from the first one?
Yeah, I think it's not the kind of movie that made you think, man, I really need to see the second installment. Yeah. And for a lot of films, I think people will do that anyway, but I think people are burnt out on this franchise. I mean, this is going to be basically the 5th movie, and people have sort of seen it. Like, stay home and watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy in your basement, So I went 70 million, which is still a crazy number, but not as good as the last one.
I